morning, good afternoon, good evening. I am your host, Data T, and this is my channel, The Good Guys. Today's story, guys, comes out of Geauga County, Ohio, and the title reads, Geauga County Teen Thwarts, burglary by pointing mom's gun at home intruder. Okay, guys, we're going to get into it on this one. Okay, I have some opinions here and they may not be very popular, but they need to be shared. Before we get into that, please, guys, if you wouldn't mind leaving a like, leaving a comment, subscribe, hit me on Twitter. I have no problem with that. And we are going to get into today's story. Put on your seatbelts.
A teenage boy pulls a gun on a home intruder. Thankfully, he didn't have to pull the trigger. In a story you'll see on Just One Station, the boy and his mom sat down with our Kelly Kennedy to explain this terrifying encounter.
Now I have cameras in my house, which I've never wanted before and I've never thought I'd have, and I'm at work with my phone propped up with cameras now watching my front door.
It'll probably take some time before Geauga County mom Ashley Jarrett feels safe at her home again. Less than a week ago, her 16-year-old son came face to face with a home intruder.
I didn't expect it. I thought it was my uncle. And I mean, yeah, it was a little scary, yeah. I didn't want to shoot this guy. But if he was coming out, I had no other choice. I didn't know what he was going to do.
Braden Jarrett had just come home from school last Tuesday when he heard a car pulling up to his Montville home. When he looked out the window, he saw a strange man coming towards his house. The teen, who grew up hunting, went right for his mother's 9mm gun.
I stood right back there where it turned into the kitchen, into the living room. And I stood there and I stayed quiet.
Braden stood with his mom's gun and watched as the man walked right up to his home and opened the first door. And then the second door, which Braden didn't realize was unlocked at the time.
That's when I cocked the gun back and I pointed it at the door.
Once the intruder realized Braden was armed, he took off running.
Has anything like this ever happened to you before?
I mean, I've seen stuff about it. I mean, personally, it never happened to me before. This was my first thing. Never pulled a gun out or anything before. That was definitely something I wish no one to go through, pulling a gun out on someone.
The first call Braden made was to his mom.
Okay, guys, so let us get into this. And I have to say this because it's necessary, all right? Two things. So the first thing we did see cameras. Now they are an afterthought, right? They are an afterthought. But what we saw here is a teenager. This young man who is 16 years old had to pull a gun on someone who came into the house. Now, there are a whole bunch of people that say that, hey, these guns need to be locked up, right? In this case, we don't know if he had the code. We don't know if it was in a safe. We don't know if it's biometric. But this teenager was able to access his mother's firearm. As parents, I wonder, do you teach your children how to use your gun? He's had hunting experience, but let's throw that aside. What if he doesn't hunt? Let's say you live in a city. Do you teach your children how to use guns? Because this is a very, very real possibility. I don't know how many times I was at home with my brother watching him while my parents were out. How many other people have been in this situation? They're children, and trust me, there have been many children who have used their firearms to defend their siblings, to defend even their own parents and their life and where they live. So, are we going to tag along with those people who say, hey, guns should be locked up? It is my opinion, firearms, unless you know that your child is responsible enough, is mature enough, when they are home alone and you cannot be there, those firearms should not be in a safe. They should not be locked up. They should be kept in an area where they are accessible. And they should be able to be accessible quickly for this exact reason. I hear all the time, even they have laws now. They have laws. They've had them in the past. Well, you need to keep it in a safe. You need to keep it unlocked. Some bullshit about you need to have no bullets in it. And I understand the very real possibility of children shooting themselves, which is such a terrifying thought. It has crossed my mind many, many times. But would I rather bury my children, or they defend themselves? This is a question that every parent must think about. You have to. For this exact reason, this child, had to defend himself. Where's his father? We don't know. I'm not going to put that on him. I'm not going to put that on the single mom, okay? But sometimes we can't always be there. You as a parent, you know this. You know you can't always be there. You leave your home, you leave your children at home, you think they're safe, and some asshole tries to come in through the door, and thank God he didn't have to shoot him, but guess what? The gun was there. It was the equalizer, period. And that joker who decided to leave after he saw the gun, he knew, hey, I'm not about to take another step. Let me get out of here. And that's what should happen. That's what usually happens. And in the worst case, he would have fired that weapon. But guess what? He knew how to use it. He knew how to use it. You guys think about what I said. I'm not joking. Let's hear the rest of the story.
Says, this guy just drove past the house again, and I said, that's it, I gotta call the cops.
Ashley called the Geauga County Sheriff's Office and rushed home from work.
He's so young to have to experience that. And then it goes through your head of, is he going to have any mental problems or like anguish from this?
Are you proud that your son was able to like think quickly and like be calm?
Most proud. This is like definitely one of those awakening moments that as a mom, a single mom, my baby has become the protector. And it's a little heartbreaking that he's old enough to know how to do these things, but at the same time, he protected our home. We could have lost a lot that day. I could have lost him.
Braden went into the sheriff's office and identified the suspect by doing a photo lineup. The family is now hoping he'll be off the streets soon. Reporting in Geauga County, Kelly Kennedy, 19 News.
Geauga County. That's how you pronounce it, guys. Geauga County. Before you guys get on me. But guys, what do you guys think about this? What do you think about this? He had to become the protector. Look at what his mom said. She said she's proud of him. She's proud of him. But it's nerve-wracking that he had to be put in that position. But guys, she knew enough to keep her gun at home and keep it where he could access it, where he could take it out and use it if necessary. In his home, sweet home. You guys need to think about this. Every parent is this. You gotta think about this. What are you going to do? For those new soon-to-be parents, for those existing parents, for you gotta take an assessment of your child. You need to take a look at him or her and say, man, is he ready to use a gun? If he is ready to use it, do I train him how to use it? You better, okay? Then after you train him, then you keep it somewhere and you say, hey, this is not a toy. This is life or death. You only use this gun in self-defense. And that's what this guy was. He has demonstrated. How long has he been in the house with guns, guys? Maybe years. He's probably had a gun in the house for years. At the very least, his mother has bought the gun, keeps it there. He knows where it is. And guess what? He used it. So what does that tell you? This is an example of how you can responsibly have your guns available quickly to yourself and to members of your family. You have to think about this. It's important. Guys, as we can see, good people have guns. If it were up to me, even children who demonstrated competency, they would have them too. Good people have guns. That kid is a good guy. And if good guys do nothing, there would be no good guys.